options. Uh, what is an option? Options are the derivative contract where there will be two parties. One party we call them as a buyer, and then the actual technical term is basically the holder, and then you have another party called as a seller, who is also called as a writer. The actual technical term should be writer. So here the buyer and the seller would meet and they make an agreement. Typically, the buyers will always say that they're going to take the asset. But in case of options, they get something called as a right, but not obligation. In a simple layman term, if someone says you have the right to attend this function, that means it is your choice whether if you want to go, you can go to that function, and if you don't want, you can basically avoid going to that particular function. So that is your right. But if there is an obligation that you are obligated to attend a court hearing, that means at any cost you need to go there and attend that court procedure. So in the similar way, you get a right. So understand, right means it is your choice, the choice of the buyer, whether he wants to take the asset or not. Or sometimes two part of it, one is called as a option holder, that is a buyer has a right, whereas the option writer who's got a short position has a obligation. Now for the buyer, the risk is limited for the premium paid. Remember this rule by heart. And returns are unlimited. For the option seller, the risk is unlimited and returns are limited to the premium received. So there are two types of options, call option and a put option. In a call option, the buyer gets a right to buy, and in a put option, the buyer gets a right to sell. So let us see an example here. Big Bazaar, which is a supermarket, offers a membership card where you need to pay 1,000 rupees, and in return you get a right to buy 1,000 kgs of onion from them at 30 rupees per kg. That means your investment would be around 30,000. If you want to go and take the onion, if not, they cannot force you to buy. The maximum amount that you're going to lose is only 1,000. And it has also got two conditions, which says that whatever the amount you paid, it is not refundable from Big Bazaar's point of view. And second thing, basically the membership card is valid for 30 days. The membership card can be sold or transferred to any other holder. Now, so comes a question here. On 30th day, 1st of April, you buy this membership card, and on 30th April, you go to the Big Bazaar. And are you obligated to buy if the onion price is 15 in the market? Like, Big Bazaar is giving you an offer to buy at what rate? 30 rupees per kg. Okay. But in the market, the price is 15. So will you go to Big Bazaar, buy the onion at 30, because you'll end up paying excess 15 than the market price? So you say, no, I don't want to exercise my right. So you just lose this 1,000 rupees. Now, assuming there is a second scenario, on 30th April, the market price of onion is around 60 rupees. Big Bazaar is obligated to sell you at 30. So will you go in the market? Yes, you will buy it in the Big Bazaar because you're getting 30 rupees lesser than the market rate. So you can gain around 29,000. How? Write a check of 30,000 to Big Bazaar, take 1,000. So write to buy at what rate? 30 per kg. And how many kgs? You have the right to buy 1000 kg. This we call it as market lot. That is a minimum kg, minimum quantity that you have to buy. And this is called as strike price. And then now let us assume what is the market right to buy at 30 per kg, and the market lot is 1000. Now the market price is 60 per kg. So what you would do, yeah. So you go here, take it from Food World at 30, sorry, Big Bazaar at 30, sell it at market at 60. So remember always profit is equal to sell minus buy. Sell, buy. So you make a gain of 60 minus 30, 30 rupees. And what's a market lot? That's around 1000. So your net gain here is 1000 into 30. You make a profit of 30,000. Now you have paid 1000 rupees as an expense. That is called as premium. Remember, premium is the amount paid by the buyer, that is the holder of a call to the writer. So basically you paid 1000, so you made around a gain of 29,000. So you get a right to buy here. So at what rate? Right to buy, remember, right to buy equals to call option. Okay, and at what rate? 30 rupees per kg. And what's the market price? 60. So you make a profit of 30. The premium is the amount paid by the holder of the call to the writer. So you lose 1000 rupees here. So 30,000 minus 1000, 29,000 is your gain. Okay, now this is in a scenario if the market price increases to 60. Now this is like a ideal situation where the price of the onion has increased to 60. When did you make a deal? You made a deal on 1st April when onion, let's say the onion price was around 30, and on 1st April the onion price was 30, and then market price increases to 60 on 30th of April. So here you make a gain of 60 rupees per kg. So you get a net profit of 30. So 30,000 is your profit, again a cash inflow, payoff. We can call it as a payoff. And 1000 is a loss, expenses, and 29,000 is a gain. Now this is in a positive scenario. I'll call it as a positive. What if if we take the same example and just change the market price to 10 rupees, so you're getting a right to buy onion at 30 rupees per kg, right to buy at 30, but the market price is 10. So you may think you'll have around 20 rupees ka loss. No, for a simple reason, it will be a zero. You have the right. Remember, you will not exercise your right. That means I will say I'm not interested in buying. You show him a red flag. Remember, you say stop. I paid you 1,000. I'm not interested to buy from you anymore. So you just lose 1,000 rupees. So okay, now comes a third scenario. What if the prices are equal? Okay, so negative, if the price is here, it should be decrease. A small change we have to do. Market price decreases to rupees 10 on 30th April. Now, what if the price is equal? Then, if the market price is equal to rupees 10 on 30th April, then let's see what happens. You'll not exercise your right, because whether you buy from the market here, buy at 30, sell in the market at 30, then see, sorry, you say buy at market here, but you buy at 30 and then go and sell at 30, because here the market price has gone to 30. You'll get zero. So you make money only when the market price at least increases to 32 rupees. Because when it increases to 32 rupees, you buy at 30, sell at 32, you get a 2 rupees again, and then you get 2000 minus 1000 rupees ka profit. If it is 31 also, you'll not make any money for a simple reason. You get 1 rupee, that is 1000 rupees you get, you paid 1000, your profit here will become zero. So your profit will increase only when it crosses more than 32. So here I'll write it, the net gain that you get is 1000 if the price increases. Net gain. Net gain increases to 1000. Fine. So this is how basically a call option works. Just to summarize, what exactly is a call option? I'll come back to the definition here. In a call option, the buyer, that is the holder, gets a right. So here I and you can be the buyer. We go to Big Bazaar, ask them for offer, that is we want to sell them, buy onion from them at 30 rupees, and if they agree that they're going to give onion at 30, the 30 will be called as a strike price. We need to pay them the premium, and remember this premium is non-refundable. And then in case if the onion price increases more than 30, we can always force the big bazaar to sell it to us. So they will have the obligation to sell the underlying asset, and then we get the difference over there. And remember, 99.5% of the time, people who buy this kind of a membership card don't have any intention to take the physical delivery. That means they are called as a speculators. You can watch the earlier video where I explain what exactly is a speculator. I just think I need to pay 1,000 rupees to Big Bazaar. I get onion at 30 rupees. What if the onion price goes to 90? So I'm going to make around a 60 rupees gain there, for just for a 1 rupee investment. That is per kg. I'm paying 1 rupee. So for 1,000 kg, I'm paying 1,000 rupees to them. So I paid 1 rupee per kg as a premium. Onion price goes to 90. I get a net gain of 60. So 60 minus 1, I make a gain of 59. Same thing like you bet on Afghanistan winning the World Cup. You just have to pay the 1,000 rupees, and if Afghanistan wins the World Cup, you end up getting around 10 lakh rupees. In a similar fashion, when people are bullish on a stock, they go for call option. Bullish in a sense, they're expecting the share price to increase. So I have an example of Reliance Industries here. Now you can see what is the spot market rate of Reliance. The spot market rate of Reliance on this particular date is 1073. The underlying value is given as 1073. Now what I basically do is that I think Reliance may go to 1400. Now I can go and buy it in the cash market. That is a market where I pay 1073 and take the complete shares from them. But it really doesn't make sense, because if the share price can go to 1400, one conflict of interest of India with Saudi Arabia may cut down oil supply to India, or some kind of judgment from Supreme Court on telecom business. The Reliance share price may come to 600. As a result, I'll directly have a notional loss of 373, 473. Like if I buy the Reliance shares at buy Reliance shares at 1073. The market price declines to 600. In this particular scenario, I'll have a loss of 473. So I'll have a loss of 473. But if the market price appreciates, that is basically increase. I'll put it in a simple term: market price increasing. Market price increases to 1400. In that particular scenario, my buying price is what? 1073. So I will have a gain of this minus this, 327. So I don't want this loss. I'm not very keen on having this particular loss in my books. Like, I'm risk averse, but I want this profit. Now what do I do? So that's when I, instead of buying the shares, I'll buy Reliance call option of 1100 strike rate. Now if the market price appreciates to 1400, I get 300 as a payoff. But there is a small catch. I need to pay premium. Premium is the amount paid by the buyer. Premium paid by the buyer of the call. I paid 300. Okay. So from 1400, I get 300 rupees gain here because the share price increased to 1400. I paid just 19 rupees. So my net gain here will be net gain 281. Then you may ask, you may have a doubt, matlab, that what if the price actually declined? Market price declined. If the market price had declined to, let's say, 600, then I'll get 0 rupees because I won't go to him. Similar way, like I destroyed the Big Bazaar's membership card when the price went to 10 rupees. Here I just tear the contract. I lose only 19. So if you understand risk reward ratio, for a 19 rupees loss, I can make a gain of 281. So my loss will be 19, my gain will be 281. Graphically, to represent the same can be represented here in a graph. So I get a right to buy at 1100. I pay a premium of 19. So if the share price crosses more than 1119, I start making money. Now, if the share price here goes to 1400, then we make a gain here. So the difference between these two will be my gain. How much is the difference? The difference here is 283. 283. Now, if the share price increases to 1500, then my difference will be 383. So as the share price keeps on increasing, my this profit keeps on increasing. So the call option can be very profitable for you if the share price increases. Now let us look into one example here. A trader who is very confident HDFC share price from 350 will increase to 600, let's say around 400 or 500, buys a call option by paying 14 rupees premium. Now, yeah, he pays 14 rupees as a premium. Now the market price goes to 385. Does he make money or does he lose money? So remember here, he got a right to buy at what rate? 350. Market rate is 385. So he will take the shares from the seller here at 350, sell it in market at 385. So he will get 35 rupees profit, and he has paid 14 rupees premium. So his net profit will be 21. But he doesn't have to do all this exercise. We have something called cash settlement, where the exchange will calculate what is your strike rate, what is the closing price of the asset on the expiry date. That difference will be calculated, and that difference will be given to you. Already you paid 14, you get the difference, you make a gain of 21 rupees. But if luck is bad, if the share price declines, then you, let's say the share price goes to 334, you don't have to worry, because your maximum loss will be only 14. So you here make a money only when the share price goes up. Share price declines, you lose your premium. Now let us try to understand the role of the writer here. We discussed about the buyer now, so let's look into what exactly is a writer. Now, writer of a call option is a person who is having a bearish view. You have a buyer is having a bearish view. What is bearish? He expects the price to go down. So bullish view means increase in the price. But he thinks the price will be equal or lesser than the strike price. So here, let's take an example of which stock. Let's take okay. Fine. Let's take an example of Pidilite. Now, I feel the share price here of Pidilite, if I look at the historical Pidilite share price, so I somewhere feel that the share price will come and stop here, at least for next 30 days, because we call it as in a technical analysis, we can call it as like resistance, because previously when the price went up there, it got sold. Like the price went on 18th Feb, then the price started coming down. At least immediately 2nd March it came down here. So next 12 days the price went, then again the price went up, again came back. So this is a point where will this time also it will act like a resistance. So we can expect the share price to increase to this level, and then probably we may see one more round of selling here. That means the share price may decline from here, and again it may go here, and then if the price just goes above this point, then it can go upside. So here the share price came up, came down, so this is like a strong resistance, 1600. So what I do is that I'm highly confident Pidilite will not go more than 1,600. Okay, I'll just use okay. Like there are two systems which are given by the broker. One is a browser based and another one is a desktop based. So I prefer the desktop based for options trading. It's easy here. NFO, option stock. NFO stands for NSE futures and options. So let me take Pidilite Industries. Then you have a call option that is 1,600 30th April. So you can see here option. So some of the buyers here, they want to pay me 20 rupees. They want me to pay 20. Look, they are willing to pay. If I am a writer, there will be a buyer. So they have bullish view that it will go more than 1,600. So they will pay me 20 and I have an obligation to give them at 1,600. But the interesting thing is this whole contract needs to end by 30th April. So what does the chart here tell me? The chart tells me that if the price of the Pidilite goes to, I had done the analysis here, price goes to this 1,600, there will be a selling. That to what? The price has to increase in next 14 days. Remember here, last time the price had touched here, within 10 days the price came crashing. I don't want the price to come crashing also. Even if the price stops somewhere here around 1,600 levels, then whatever this 21 rupees 40 paisa, see now they are willing to pay me 26 rupees. So the whatever the 26 rupees I will collect from them, that's my gain. So now they are willing to offer me 27. That means they're very, very bullish. The buyer is having a bullish view. He thinks the price will go more than 1,600 and he's willing to pay me 27 rupees. So he makes money only when the share price crosses 1627. But I have a bearish view. I know the price will remain one below 1,600 and I take this 20, collect this 27, will pay 27, I will collect 27, and my loss will start only when the price breaks more than 1627. So if the price goes to 1627, I just give back the 27 rupees back to him. I lose 27. Now, in case, let's assume all the three scenarios here. He's having a bullish view, price will increase. But what if the price comes to 1,500? Will he come and buy from me? If he comes and buys from me, he will end up paying 100 rupees excess. So his total cost here will become 127. So he will not come to me. He will just lose 27. So for me, what happens if the price goes to 1500? He won't come. This 27, I have a zero obligation to him. I get to keep this 27. Now, for me, when will the loss happen? In case if the price, I'll write here, this is the market price. Now, if the price increases to 1800 Pidilite, he will come running to me saying that give me the share or give me the difference. I have to pay the difference 200 to him, and then I lose 200 here. So my loss will be 173. So for me, anything less than 1627 is a gain. Anything less than 1627 is a gain. So here, how do we buy or sell? If I want to buy, I just select this, click the plus button or this shopping cart button. Minimum 500 quantity I need to buy. I need to pay 500 into 28 and then submit it. So from my account, 14,000 will be deducted, and this 14,000 will go, assuming I buy at 28, 14,000 will get deducted, and this 14,000 will go to the seller's account. Okay, now comes a question. If I click on the sell button, I collect this 14,000 rupees. But what is the guarantee that I will give him the shares if the share price goes to 1800, or how will I pay 200? So if I click the submit button, they say that you need to deposit a margin of see, they're asking me to deposit a margin of 1,64,681. So the seller will have to deposit a margin 1,64,000, because in case if the share price goes up, the seller of the call option is at a risk. So he has to pay the margin, whereas the buyer just have to pay 14,000. That is the maximum investment the buyer will have to do in terms of a call option. Okay, so we'll look into this example here. Yeah, okay. The trader writes ITC call option 175 strike price. So the trader here is very confident ITC share price will remain below 175. So he will collect 6 rupees. Now the market price of ITC goes to 192.